What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 57 of the Nintendo Tonight podcast.
Correct.
That's correct, right?
Yeah.
Welcome to the first no PJ episode. I'm pretty sure this is the first time
huge.
he's ever missed.
This is big. PJ haters are crying. They're dropping to their knees in enjoyment
56
right
episodes
now.
straight, and just like that, he's gone.
He's gone. Yeah, we killed him. So just letting you guys know, PJ will not be showing up in any more episodes. Yeah, he's definitely just not on vacation with his family. He will be gone forever now. So just letting you guys know that. It's, unfortunate situation.
That's how it is, but
he had to go.
Maybe we'll find a new PJ, but for now it's going to be the two of us.
Yeah, we might clone him and he might be back in a couple of episodes. We'll let you know. Actually,
the canon of Nintendo Tonight will be that we'll clone him in 2 episodes.
Yeah, that works perfectly.
It won't be the original PJ.
No, the original PJ's gone permanently. So just letting you guys know, if you're fans of PJ, I would say wish him, I would say tweet at him, say we miss you, but he's gone. He won't read them. So.
He won't be able to message. So, yeah.
Unless we get the clone up and running on Twitter. So if you see any erroneous tweets, that's just us testing out the clone, not real PJ.
Yeah.
So yeah, just letting you know. Anyway, Mech, you kind of took the lead on this episode, so do you want to give people a bit of a rundown on what we're doing?
So it's gonna be crazy, but I made a choose your own adventure experience.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa.
For what a potential Nintendo Switch 2 could be. And no, it is not just a would you rather where we debate what we should or shouldn't have on the Switch.
Okay.
It's a choose your own adventure experience where at the end we will have a fully finished product of what the Nintendo Switch 2 will entail.
I'm looking forward to this. I'm very much looking forward to this.
Have you skimmed through it or no?
No, I have it open. So I see the title screen, but I have not.
Yeah.
I tried not to skim through anything. So I'm going in blind, just like the viewer here.
Awesome. What else did we say we were doing today?
After that, we're talking about when we're possibly getting a direct. I did skim through this stuff because I had to open up the tabs, but we have a little bit of when are we getting an announcement? We'll talk about a direct announcement. Switch 2 announcement, or this is what you put into the notes, literally anything. So we'll talk about that.
What could that mean?
Yeah, literally, what is the literally anything announcement coming? And then last but not least, this was kind of a late addition to the pod, but a very interesting one. As there have been a bunch of rumors that, like very strong rumors, that Xbox is going to be going the way of Sega and doing a little multi-platform shenanigans where they're kind of phasing out hardware because the Xbox Series, it's actually kind of funny. I was about to buy an Xbox Series and now I'm holding off on that a little bit because if they're about to put everything on, they're about to do basically an announcement next week or within this will go up on a Friday, hopefully, and the upcoming week. Phil Spencer, head of Xbox, is going to be hosting some sort of announcement, we don't really know what yet, describing the future of Xbox. And this is huge, not only for gaming as a whole, but also for the Nintendo Tonight podcast. Because if you remember, just a couple of weeks ago, I was laughed at, scoffed by you and PJ for saying that Xbox Game Pass could come to Switch. It seems a lot more
you were
likely.
laughed out of the room because we both shot that down completely. But
hey, man.
You may have been onto something.
I got my visual viewers can see I got my Lucky shirt on. Well, it's actually
he's not
reverse.
lying.
I do have a shirt that says Lucky on it. It's my Lucky shirt, and maybe I'll get some more random predictions right today because it seems like that one actually might be coming true. Not that not in the way I hoped. I didn't really want Xbox to completely die as a brand, and then that's how we get games on the other consoles, but. Hey man, prediction. It's like one of those magic genie things. You got to be very specific with what you wish for, or else, stuff can hit the fan real fast. But
you get weird scenarios.
Yeah, I really imagine it's just PlayStation and Nintendo. Okay, we'll get into that. We'll get into that when we get into.
I have no clue.
Very, very, very interesting. So stay tuned for that. And besides that, I was gonna say. Something else, but it's completely.
I don't think we have anything else.
No, we don't have anything else. I was just gonna say.
Also, everybody that I added earlier in the Discord for fan questions, we're not doing fan questions
next
today.
episode.
So that'll be next episode.
Yeah, apologies, but make sure not only join the Discord server to ask your fan questions in that server, but if you're a visual viewer on YouTube. Make sure to drop some questions down below because we'll include some of those. True. If you're an audio listener as well on the podcast, either tweet at us at Nintendo Tonight or go onto the YouTube and check us out over there because we post a bunch of shorts. It's a good time. But also, drop some questions in this episode's video, and we'll answer as many of them as we can in the next episode. So yeah, exciting times to be a Nintendo Tonight fan. First time in a while. We've done 3 episodes back to back to back. And it'll be 4.
What is the all-time streak? We'll stop getting meta really soon, but what's the longest streak of Nintendo?
We'd have to look it up. We could look it up for next episode. For sure.
We'll do that.
I would assume it's probably like, I would be shocked if we hit 10 weeks in a row ever. But we probably did, because that's only like 2 months. We definitely had a streak of more than 2 months where we uploaded, but it also might have been, I remember at the time we were doing once every other week. So I don't know if that counts as a streak. We'll come up with the full stats for next episode, so make sure you're tuned in for that. Episode's dropping every single Friday from now until the sun explodes and kills the universe. So yeah.
Yep. And still after that.
Yeah, still after that.
Somehow.
Yeah,
the clone PJ he's actually not human, so he'll be able to record the podcast by himself.
It'll just be like,
there won't be any Nintendo news.
It'll be
incoherent
Pokemon rants until the end of time.
It'll just be him playing whatever, like Pokemon, like Sun and Moon. That kind of makes sense. Yeah, and he'll be shiny hunting and whatever. But anyways, let's move on. Let's talk about the Nintendo Switch 2, a choose your own adventure experience. Okay, so
I see something here that says really just a would you rather.
No.
So
it is a choose your own adventure experience.
Okay.
What we're about to do is go through 10 different sectors of the Nintendo Switch 2 and discussing what those sections should be.
And there's like 2 different options.
There's going to be 2 different options.
So we would talk about like which one we would rather.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But it's not a would you rather.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. No, this is making sense. Hopefully this makes sense to all you guys.
Because we're going to pick one of them, and then we'll go on to the next one, and then at the end it'll be the Switch 2.
The choose your own adventure experience.
Makes
I'm looking
sense,
forward
right?
to it. Yes, makes perfect sense. Step 1, as it says here, launch titles.
Yes.
So I go forward.
Yes, you go forward.
Okay, perfect.
That's a title slide.
Okay.
What would we rather see as a launch title? Mario Odyssey 2 or a 3D World sequel?
Okay. So, for me, I would rather, probably, I'm not even going to front, I'm going to get hate for this, but you're on the Nintendo Tonight podcast, you guys already know. I would probably prefer a 3D World sequel. I love that game, as everyone knows, mainly for the multiplayer aspect of it. And I just like more linear, like controlled platforming challenges rather than like the whole open thing. So I would say 3D World sequel. However, I'm going to throw a bit of a curveball, and I'm going to say for the overall success of the Nintendo Switch 2, Mario Odyssey 2, or a big, even if it's not named Odyssey 2, but if it's a big like Odyssey spiritual successor or Bowser's Fury spiritual successor, where it's a big open world or many big different like kingdom type things or whatever, that game definitely garners more hype. I think Nintendo knows this, and I feel like that's the type of game that if you're going to launch a system with a brand new 3D Mario, that's the one that gets more hype. So I might even just say that solely so that the Switch 2 hopefully has a better launch and therefore a better life going on, because a launch like really impacts how the console goes.
Yeah, it's funny. It's going to be a bit of a weird curveball. I probably would rather have Odyssey 2 or, again, like a big open world Mario. I think a multiplayer Mario game is huge at launch. I think having a multiplayer game at launch, it does. I think 3D World sequel would actually do really well in this situation. I wouldn't be opposed to either, but I would probably lean towards a 3D World sequel.
Yeah, it's interesting because if you think about it, we've never really been able to see how a true multiplayer 3D Mario does against like a single player 3D Mario, because 3D World plus Bowser's Fury on Switch was a port and also came out way after Odyssey. So obviously Odyssey sold a lot more, but it had way more marketing, way more hype behind it. I think Switch 2, just because it's been so long since we got a 3D Mario, there's a decent chance that we get maybe a big open 3D world, or 3D world. You can't really say that there. There's a chance that we get maybe like a big open Mario Odyssey type game at launch. And then maybe towards the end of the console's lifespan, we could get a 3D world type game with multiplayer. I think that would be super interesting if we got two like big 3D Marios on the same console. And obviously, they're 3D Marios, but that's about where the similarities end. 3D World and Odyssey are just completely different games. So I think it would be interesting. We would potentially be able to see what, which one of those games kind of does better with fans without having to...
I'd be curious seeing a 3D World sequel or a 3D World type game at launch opposed to what we had on the Switch where it started with Odyssey and then we had 3D World come out with Bowser's Fury. It was a port, but like still. Yeah. See if a 3D World like game would garner as much hype as an Odyssey 2.
Yeah, I wonder.
Big open world. Yeah. Which one are we leaning towards? Are we gonna want to pick one of them?
If we want to pick one, I'll let you choose because I instinctively want to go with 3D World, but I understand the merits of Odyssey from a sales perspective. But then again, we've also never really gotten like if they go through Super Mario 3D Universe or something, and it's a grand like it takes 3D World and just blows it out of the water with like even more creativity somehow, but has multiplayer. That could do just as well, if not better, in terms of sales because multiplayer. Like you look at New Super Mario Bros. Like New Super Mario Bros. Wii sold so well, and I think a huge portion of that is for multiplayer. So, I don't know. It's interesting.
I say we go with the 3D World sequel.
All right, I'm not complaining.
Really important in this situation.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. Yeah. That's awesome. 3D World, absolute banger game. I would love to get a sequel, and that's what we're choosing on this Choose Your Own Adventure. Yes. You could say even I would rather have 3D World.
No, we're choosing this. Okay, it's going to be a part of the next.
Perfect.
The next
okay, good to know.
Yes.
And it's been chosen. Step 2, personality.
Do you like my
the tie-dye? Audio listeners, he's got a tie-dye background, which...
It's showing a little bit of,
personality.
Maybe a little of a theme going on right now. I don't know.
Oh, theme. Okay, that could be a little foreshadowing. I love it. It works perfectly with the default font text or default text of
it's not default.
It's not default. It's not Helvetica. You did select it.
It's not Helvetica. Yeah.
It's a little hard to read with the background, but we can read it out.
I was trying to find like a stroke or
no,
like
that
a
doesn't
drop
exist
shot.
in Google Slides.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't.
They don't have that technology yet. All right.
Yeah.
Themes. Paid, but paid is spelled in. No. I'm gonna stop being such.
No way. No.
It's
oh my God.
PAID. I'm gonna stop nitpicking so much on this, bro. I apologize.
No, you deserve that. You can. This has been a problem for years. Like, I'm an English major, and I just misspell things all the time. Like,
I understand.
Sorry, the autocorrect has completely just ruined my brain.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. So
paid.
Yeah.
PAYED.
Yeah. I completely understand the thought process though, because pay is PAY. So paid. I paid for these themes. So we have themes. The two things we could choose are themes, but you have to pay for them, or menu music, and there's no paid next to it. So I would assume that comes complimentary, which is nice if they charge for menu music. Now, question: do themes include menu music? So, for example, if I buy an Odyssey theme, I can listen to maybe Jump Up Superstar in the back. Kind of like they had that on the 3DS. With the purchasable themes.
Yeah, I'd say when I say themes paid, I would say kind of like how they did it with the 3DS.
Okay. Then I don't even know if that really changes my answer because I probably would have picked this anyway, but I'm going themes 100%. I understand,
really?
Payment is a little weird, but like menu music, it's nice, but a lot of times the menu music on Nintendo consoles is like very like ambient, like like the Wii U menu music. Like it had good eShop music and good music for like the settings and all the apps and stuff, which I guess we would get to, which is nice. But the menu music itself is kind of just like random like synths playing in the background and like kind of airy chimes going about. So I mean that stuff's nice. It definitely lends to the console itself, but themes I think is more up my alley personally.
Yeah, I really do like menu music. Like if there's a situation where like there's no special themes that like even if colored themes are paid, I'd probably lean towards menu music, but I yeah, I'm fine contesting. Is that the word? Again, English major. Going with themes, I'd be fine with that.
Okay, so that would be the opposite. If you were contesting my choice of themes, he would be
what is
like,
it? Conceding?
Conceding.
Conceding.
You're conceding to themes, which I am perfectly fine with. I'm okay with taking themes. I think menu music is nice, but themes lend a lot more personality, which, if we go back, is the key of this step with the tie-dye.
But there's no menu music in this PowerPoint, but
True.
there is a theme.
There is personality in it, though.
Yeah, there is personality.
Theme is more important. Yeah. All right, perfect.
Yes.
Let's move right along. Step 3.
Wait, did I misspell gimmicks?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's two M's.
It's weird
and
spelling.
X,
It's a weird
right?
spelled word, though.
It is weird.
I don't know.
I wonder if the word
I don't
gimmicks. If you knew more like grammar technique and stuff, you would probably, or not grammar, but like what's it not literary,
Phonetics?
but like phonetics maybe, and you'd be able to tell me if there's like a gimmick within the word gimmicks. Like is having 2 M's a gimmick? I don't know. Anyway, let's move forward. Let's talk about cellular switch or ultimate backwards compatibility. So you're you're gonna need to explain both of these and include whether or not you have to pay for the cell plan of your cellular switch.
So a cellular switch means basically that you have cell service and you wouldn't need Wi-Fi to play, let's say, cloud games, right?
Okay. Yep.
However, it is going to cost a little extra. I'm saying you're probably going to have to pay the plan, which on Apple Watches, I think it's like $10 a month, so that's $120 a year. And I'm guessing you'll need a specific switch that does that. So I'm going to say it's like, what would you say is like a fair price for like a cellular switch? Like $50 extra?
Yeah, $50 extra. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so let's say it's $350. $350 plus you have to pay $120 a year on top of that for cell service. Or ultimate backwards compatibility, which has an NSO app for each console all the way through it from NES to the Switch.
Wow. Okay. And I'm assuming that costs more as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'll be like...
So let's just say price-wise, it's a moot point. They both cost about the same.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming they both are like high quality in the sense that the cellular service actually works and that the backwards compatibility is like you don't have to wait super long for like games that should have been there by default. Like every major game most people would want to play would be on the system.
Yep.
Wow. Cell service is so good solely because of cloud gaming. Like that's the way the industry is going. And assuming that this system is going to stay around for as long as the Switch does, eventually it's going to be underpowered. Some people will probably argue it's going to be underpowered from the jump if it's the same level as like in PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, because those consoles are full generation and a half behind now. Because of that, the ability to play cloud gaming at a high level of like, no real noticeable input delay and all that is huge. But with that being said, personally, I would 100% go with ultimate backwards compatibility solely because like I don't really buy a Nintendo. I'm fortunate enough to where like I have a PC so I can play a lot of games there. I have a PS4, although I haven't touched it in ages because I never brought it to college with me or to Miami where I am now. But I could buy an Xbox. Like if there were games coming out that weren't on PC or weren't on Switch that I had to play, I could get other consoles to play them instead of having to use cloud service gaming. But that's not really the case for past Nintendo consoles. Like I guess I could. Nintendo's gonna hate this. I guess I could emulate past games on my PC, but I don't know. There's just something about being able to play Nintendo consoles or Nintendo games on a Nintendo console. So ultimate backwards compatibility sounds insane. It sounds like a complete pipe dream. Although, granted, it is kind of what we had with the Virtual Console on the Wii, because that was backwards compatible with GameCube games, and the Virtual Console had everything else before that. So, well, besides like DS, but yeah, ultimate backwards compatibility. I don't see how you beat that.
Yeah, I think cellular is great, but I feel you get a Switch to play Nintendo games, and you've got basically every Nintendo game you'd ever want. Like it just makes I like the ideas here, but I feel like ultimate backwards compatibility is just so much more. It has a lot more weight than I think a cellular Switch does.
Yeah, I agree. I think it moves the needle more. I don't know how many people are getting the cellular version of the Switch if it comes out, but if there's a plan for NSO that has ultimate backwards compatibility, I think that's a no-brainer for most consumers.
Yeah.
All right, moving right along. Step 4, which series should get a new game first? Oh, I'm excited for this. I'm curious.
Let's see.
Oh, these are not at all what I thought you were gonna pick for this. I was thinking more along the lines. I was thinking like F-Zero, Mother, Kid Icarus, like series that don't. Yeah, these are series that like they do move the needle.
They're gonna get a game on the next console, but which one should get a game like its first year?
Realistically, it's gonna be Mario Party, but if I were in charge, it would be Animal Crossing 1,000%, which is kind of sacrilegious for me to say. I like Mario Party, spoiler alert, a lot more than I like Animal Crossing. But from a sales perspective, it should be Animal Crossing, even though Mario Party's no slouch. Sales perspective, it's Animal Crossing hands down after the booming success of New Horizons. I think Animal Crossing also sells consoles, whereas Mario Party doesn't. I don't think as many people buy a console for Mario Party, rather they get it for a console they already have. Animal Crossing coming out within the first year would sell so many consoles to the very casual gamer who only play Animal Crossing. Like, I've talked to so many people who are like, oh yeah, I bought a Switch when the Animal Crossing came out and I played it a bunch during COVID. Like, when I say, that I do like content surrounding the Switch, it's like, oh yeah, I have one. I play some Mario Kart and I play some Animal Crossing. Like, that's the main thing you hear. So yeah, from a sales perspective and from a I want the Switch 2 to be successful perspective, it's Animal Crossing, no doubt.
Yeah, I'd say we're probably in the same boat. Like, I'd probably prefer a Mario Party first. Like,
yeah,
I don't know how much they're gonna put into like a new Animal Crossing, and like, I'd probably play an Animal Crossing for like a month and then get sad that my villagers hate me and then never open it up again. But I think Animal Crossing is the correct choice. I think, like you said, it's a system seller. It's the second best selling game on the Switch. I think it's a no-brainer to go with Animal Crossing here, but I'd rather Mario Party.
Yeah. I think that's just for us, personal preference. Like, we enjoy playing games with other people, whether that's both of us, we like playing games with our sisters. I don't know if you play Mario Party with your sisters, but I do all the time. Yeah. So it just kind of fits the mold for us specifically, but Animal Crossing, no doubt, like, if we're trying to make the most successful console, it's Animal Crossing all day.
Yep.
All right. Moving right along. We got step 5.
Features.
I love the purple you picked for the background here, by the way.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like that color. It's
Thank you.
very, very good color. Moving right along. Ooh. Okay. Party chat or all streaming services? I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this one before I go into mine, because mine is...
Yeah.
I have pretty strong feelings about this.
I'd rather have all the streaming services on the Switch.
Really? Okay, that's what I thought.
Like I have a Roku and they're only like $20, but like, imagine never having to change the HDMI ever again and just having it all on your Switch. Like, it's such a... And when I play games with people, like, I usually do it like on Discord or I'm in person. Like, in Nintendo games, like, they don't require like that. Like, they don't require... I don't think party chat's honestly necessary for the Switch too. I don't think it is.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's
Like,
clearly
it's something
not.
that would be, it'd be something nice, but I don't expect it.
Yeah,
And I probably wouldn't be sad if it wasn't on the next Switch, while I would be sad if the next Switch didn't have all of these streaming services on there.
yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's clearly not essential. The Switch sold so many
Yeah.
units without it. So, yeah, it's not required by any means. But I would definitely lean towards party chat. I've never been a big watching stuff on my Switch guy. I don't use YouTube on Switch. I don't really use anything besides if I am looking stuff up on my TV to watch, it's Apple TV or bust for me. I just like the interface more. It's a lot easier for me to like use a little microphone on the remote and like say what I want to search up rather than sit there with a controller.
You and PJ are so funny with the Alexas and I've always stayed away from the voice voice.
The Roku has like
stuff.
remotes with microphones in them.
I know, but I feel like it always opens up like the wrong app. Like if I want to
Maybe,
watch
yeah.
something on Hulu, it opens it up on like Tubi or whatever.
Yeah.
It never gets it right.
That's fair.
Yeah.
No, I just like I'm not a huge watching stuff on the console type of guy.
Yeah.
And I also feel like for my specific use case, like if I'm out and about, I'm gonna watch stuff on my phone or my iPad anyway, or like my laptop. And if I'm at home, I'm gonna watch stuff on my TV because not only for reasons I just mentioned, but also on the Apple TV, you can like cast your phone up or your, Apple device up. And a lot of times I'll be watching stuff that maybe isn't on a specific streaming service, or I'll be watching stuff like for example, this is such a niche case, but Hulu, for some reason, you can't sign into a Hulu account that isn't like on the same home Wi-Fi network as like your base default, and I'm still freebooting my parents' Hulu because why would I pay for my own when I can have theirs? But you can sign in on your phone. So I signed in on my phone, and then I just cast it up to the Apple TV, and it works perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So like I do that for live sports because Hulu has live sports. I don't know if you knew that, Meg. Not sponsored.
Well, that's
not
actually
sponsored.
Jalen Hurts' last name. If you pull it open, it's Who Has Live Sports.
Who has live sports?
That's such a weird commercial. Anyways, yeah. Which one are you? Do you have like a strong preference for party chat?
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't use so like
I don't. Yeah, I think. I don't think it's a big deal if streaming services aren't on there, and I don't think it's a big deal if party chat's not on there.
yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like party chat's more gaming focused. So I think party chat, it's probably more important to the majority of people who want to switch to compared to like streaming services.
Yeah, I think this is kind of funnily enough, like I'm picking between two things I probably wouldn't use a ton because I would like party chat a lot and I would use it a couple of times. And I definitely like it if it was like all lobby chat. Like if I could hop in a lobby and talk to randos who I was playing Mario Kart against, that would be cool, but that's never happening. Like party chat specifically, I don't play a ton of Switch multiplayer online with friends, and if I do, it's pretty much always on Discord regardless. Pretty much the entirety of my Switch multiplayer time, like upwards of 99% of it, comes from playing Mario Kart with my friends in person or Smash Bros with my friends in person. So Mario Party in person. Like I don't really do online. I feel like Nintendo's multiplayer games are way better suited to being like physically present with other people. It's just more fun.
I agree.
So yeah, I don't really have a strong opinion either way, just because I probably wouldn't use either of these too much. But I would I wouldn't touch the streaming services, and I'd definitely use party chat more. So
yeah, I think party chat's the right answer.
All right, party chat it is.
Yeah,
and we can diverge on our individual personal. I want this, you want that. If we wanted. Oh, this is interesting.
Okay. Yeah. Step 6. What other Switch 2 versions would you like to see? So, like a Switch Lite and then the Switch OLED. Would you rather a $249 digital-only Switch or a beefy 4K $499 Switch?
Wow. Huh. Wow, okay. $499 is expensive. $500 for a console is a lot. Nintendo's never had anything close to that from what I know.
Yeah.
I would have to say I would never get a digital only Switch. Just personally, like I'd just rather pay the extra excuse me. Oh man, I would rather pay the extra like $100 just for the ability to like have physical cartridges, especially if that digital only messed over backwards compatibility with physical Switch games. But I use my Switch in TV mode 90% of the time anyway, so paying a bunch for a 4K Switch would actually probably be worth it for me. But I'm going to say if Nintendo had to do one, digital only is definitely the way to go, as the Switch is the Switch has a huge casual market, and I don't think, not much of the casual market would probably be necessarily into either of these, but just based on the fact that it would be a cheaper option, the $249 digital only Nintendo Switch would move the needle more, and probably, even though it's half the price, would probably make them more money than a $500 4K Nintendo Switch.
Content wise, I'd probably want to see a beefy 4K Switch just to talk about it in YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But personally, I think I would go with the digital only Switch. It would be if a digital only Switch came out, the only thing holding me back from not buying it is I already have a bunch of Switch cartridges that I would need. I wouldn't be able to play those games on my system. But basically, since 2020, I haven't bought a game physical. I've been buying them all digital.
Okay.
And I don't like, the collecting is all fun with the boxes and everything, but I'm fine going digital personally. And if it's $50 cheaper, I'd lean towards getting it. The only thing holding me back is that I already have a bunch of cartridges for Switch games.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No, that makes complete sense. I think we're in agreement there.
Yeah.
All right.
Next up. Step 7, Nintendo Switch Online Services.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's going to be an interesting one. It's not what you expect.
Okay. This is interesting. So the two options we have here, GameCube Nintendo Switch Online and Pokemon games being added to Nintendo Switch Online. So would this mean just the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance ones, or would somehow we'd get DS, 3DS, like every Pokemon game added?
I'd say it goes up base. I think all of them. I think every single Pokemon.
So there would be like a
Nintendo
Pokemon
Switch
app.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. With every single Pokemon game.
Wow.
Except, of course, the Switch ones.
Yeah. This is really interesting. I definitely know what Dead PJ would rather.
Yeah.
But well, he loves the GameCube though too. But it would definitely be Pokemon for him.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Pokemon fan. Pokemon Sapphire is one of my favorite games ever. And I'm specifically a fan of like the Game Boy Advance games and like some of the DS games. Like I haven't played all the Pokemon games. I won't even pretend to know, like say that I'm knowledgeable on the franchise, but I do enjoy those games. So that's calling my name. But assuming that we'd get most of the major GameCube games, I think I'm going to have to go with GameCube and Nintendo Switch Online. Because even though getting all the Pokemon games is cool, I don't think I would play that many of them because they are all so similar. Like a lot of people forget that like the main criticism before the like way more valid criticisms of Pokemon came out of like it not running well on the Switch at all or looking like crap. Like the main criticism was it's kind of just the same game over and over again. And to an extent, people weren't wrong when they were saying that. A lot of the games were very, very similar. Like new region, new Pokemon, slightly new story, but the core gameplay is pretty much the exact same. So I would say GameCube. What are your thoughts on that?
I think obviously GameCube's obviously way more likely. I think Pokemon's a bigger deal. I think having every single Pokemon game on the Switch is a much bigger deal. Now, personally, I'd probably play more GameCube games than I would Pokemon games.
Yeah.
But for the Pokemon diehards, like Dead PJ, I think... I think a Pokemon service would just be huge.
Yeah, you're right. I continuously underestimate how big Pokemon is, which is kind of dumb because it's the biggest media franchise in the world. But like every time a new game comes out, it feels like it's breaking records, even when the controversy surrounding it is getting bigger and bigger. Like Pokemon is unfathomably big, and for the first time ever, being able to play all 9 generations, I think we're up to now, on the and assuming generations 10 and 11, if this is on Switch 2 and it's backwards compatible with Switch, being able to play every mainline Pokemon game on one console would be absolutely insane. That would definitely move the needle in terms of like sales, I think, more. Because there would be people who bought a Switch too, just for the ability of playing every Pokemon game. Definitely would not be the case. Like, I don't know how many people are buying a Switch 2 just to play GameCube, unless maybe Melee comes out on it or something like that. But it is kind of funny to say. I definitely, now that you say it, I think every Pokemon game coming to Switch 2 would be a bigger deal than most GameCube games coming to Switch 2. Even though I personally would prefer GameCube a lot more.
I prefer GameCube also.
Okay, so I mean,
I think Pokemon's I think there's a correct answer and I think there's a preferred answer. I think Pokemon is what would be better for the general audience, but personally I'd rather GameCube.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's just games on there that I'd want to play more than the same Pokemon game over and over again.
Yeah, completely agreed. Okay, so we answered that one pretty well.
Yeah.
Getting a little dark here. Get a little evil.
Step 8, bad ideas. Now, before we move on, these are things that are not going to be good for the Switch, but we have to choose between the two of them, which is the worst of the
lesser of two evils. Yep. Okay.
Yes.
Let's take a gander. Ooh. Okay, so we got 2 terrible options here. The first one being no backwards compatibility. I would assume that this means maybe NSO games are still there, but you cannot play Switch games on your Switch 2.
Switch games not able to be put into the cartridge slot.
Okay. Or downloaded from the eShop with your account.
Yeah, that too.
Secondary, Joy-Con drift is not fixed.
Imagine the outrage.
Imagine the outrage. It would be
I think Twitter would burn down.
It would be diabolical. But that's what I'm choosing. I would rather Joy-Con drift not be fixed. I would rather have backwards compatibility. That's only because even though I am a survivor of Joy-Con drift, I've been affected by it for many, many years now, and I have not sent my Joy-Con in to get fixed by Nintendo because I don't want to have to ship them out because they should just work. I have a Pro Controller, so it's my friends who have to deal with the Joy-Con drift whenever we play multiplayer. So
that's exactly how I feel.
Yeah,
when I'm playing Mario Kart with my family, I've always got the Pro Controller and they've got the Joy-Cons, and they're like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Sorry about that." I mean, backwards compatibility for me at least would just be an absolute stab to the heart. After going from the Wii U to the Switch and not having anything transfer over, like, because we were spoiled. Like the Wii, you could play old GameCube games. The Wii U, pretty much every Wii U owner off rip had a massive library because everyone had the Wii. Like, I doubt anyone got the Wii U without having the Wii. Mm-hmm. Switch, nothing happened. Same with the 3DS and DS, honestly. And I had a DS Lite, so I could play my Game Boy Advance games on there. But here's an interesting observation I just realized.
Yeah.
When you've got a big library of past games, it seems that the second console hasn't done as well. Like, you got the Wii you're able to play Wii games on the Wii U. Wii U kind of, DS is huge. Play DS games on the 3DS. 3DS had a rocky start.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a correlation there where if you have old games,
I don't think
make
so.
the new console like appealing.
I don't think so, because GameCube, you could play GameCube games on the Wii, and that blew up. Although the Wii is kind of a fringe case, just because it blew up because it went like viral with the motion controls, and then a lot of people bought it that never even played it after Wii Sports and Mario Kart. But I don't know. I just personally, having no backwards compatibility would be absolutely devastating. Like, I once Switch 2 comes out, I want to put my Switch in a box and like not see it again for a long time. Like, that's my hope.
Yeah.
I want to just be able to migrate my software over, use all the same cartridges. Hopefully it can save all my downloaded games. Every game on the eShop can be played on Switch 2. I want to be able to use my old cloud saves from NSO and, just kind of have the smoothest transition possible. That's like my dream. Yeah. Will that all happen? Probably not, but that's my dream. Having no form of backwards compatibility at all, I would rather Nintendo come to my door, break into my house and spit in my face. I would probably
wow.
that was very harsh. But yeah, no, that's what it would feel like if they announced the Switch 2 and it didn't have any backwards compatibility.
It's so funny saying it, but I think going with Joy-Con drift just not being fixed is weirdly the right answer.
Yeah. It also
we've survived with Joy-Con drift for 7 years. We'll survive for another 7.
Yeah, at this point, I'm kind of just I've learned to live through it. It's like one of those infomercials, like learning to live with Joy-Con drift. Have you or a loved one been?
Know what it's like? No, it's even better. It's like he's gone nose blind, like the Febreze commercials.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like he can't smell anything in his room.
We're
drift
just not
blind,
used to it.
we don't care
already
anymore.
Used to it. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree. No backwards compatibility is the correct answer. All right, Step 9. How many steps are there in this?
10.
Oh, okay. We're coming towards the end.
Yeah.
Step 9. Which game is coming out first? Ooh.
This is kind of a joke one.
Ooh. Okay, so the options are...
Okay, we haven't said it for... Okay, Metroid Prime 4?
Yes.
Or a new Kid Icarus game? Which one's coming out first?
Well, Metroid Prime 4... If Metroid Prime 4 somehow doesn't come out first, that would be hilarious. Like, the only way I could see that being the case, because I think Prime 4 will probably be at launch. If Kid Icarus somehow is a launch title and, just visually blows everyone away, and then Prime 4 is a holiday release first year, that's the only feasible way I could see it. Personally, though, it's the same thing as the Drift. I've gone so long without Prime 4, I'm starting to think, is Metroid Prime 4 in the room with you right now? It's one of those. I don't even know if it exists. I feel like I'm losing my mind whenever I talk about this game. It's been this perpetual boogeyman since 2017. Screw it. Give me a new Kid Icarus.
I don't think Metroid Prime 4 is coming out. I think they're canceling it.
Are you serious?
Crazy take. I think they're... I don't know. I've just lost faith. It's been there for so long.
It is crazy.
But there's been nothing. But you know what it is like? It's probably like when Miyamoto said that Pikmin 4 is coming out soon, and then it didn't come out for
a decade.
8-9 years,
yeah,
and then it came out at some point. So,
but the crazy thing is about Prime 4, they admitted that it was having development trouble and restarted developers with Retro Studios. They restarted with Retro, and we've still heard nothing. It's absurd. I feel like I'm losing my mind.
Wait, that was 2019. That was
start
5
of
years
2019.
ago.
Yeah, it was over 5 years ago now at this point that they restarted.
This better be like the craziest game I've ever seen in my entire life, because what could be so hard about making a Prime game? They've done it 3 other times.
Yeah, this game better... When I purchase this game on the eShop, it better do all my homework, give me $1 million, come over, clean my house.
And more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clean my house, do my dishes, do my laundry, and come, cook me food. This game better be the greatest game in history, because it's... yeah.
There's a situation where it comes out and it's just kind of a dud, and we waited 7 years for that.
That would be so funny. That would be so funny. I would feel bad for Metroid Prime fans, and I mean, I'm kind of a Metroid Prime fan. I love those games. But what? Dude, it's so dumb that we've waited this long. Screw it. I'd rather have a new Kid Icarus game, because the question was, which game is coming out first? If I go back to the...
Well, that's the thing.
So
Metroid Prime 4 is coming out.
Yeah.
A new Kid Icarus game isn't coming out. I'd rather Kid Icarus come out.
Yeah, and I also...
Because we know...
You could add in the caveat that if we say I'd rather Metroid Prime 4 come out first, that game has been cooking for who knows how long, and who knows how long it still has left to cook. We don't know. So, we could say,
it's like
I'd
a
rather
slow
Prime
burner.
4.
It's like the longer you cook it, the more tender it's going to be,
I would hope. If this game comes out raw, I will... I don't even know what I'll do. But yeah, Kid Icarus is what I'd say for this. I don't know. I'd rather do a Kid Icarus game. Anyway, If
Yeah.
this is crazy. If they were to cancel Metroid Prime 4, but in return give us a brand new Kid Icarus game in the style of Uprising, I would not be mad. I know, like everyone would
And
probably be pissed.
imagine what that would look like on the Switch too. Like it'd be beautiful.
It would be so good. It would be so good.
Yeah.
It would be so good. And like
Okay.
at this point, Prime is just like, like, dude.
It'll happen or it won't. We'll see.
I don't know. Jack, also, this kind of side note, but that's a hilarious short of when to make for the YouTube channel where Mac was like, I don't think Prime 4 is coming out, because I almost spit out my water when he said that, because I was just cackling. Like, imagine, I never even thought about that. Like, imagine, because I feel like they would have canceled it already, right? If it were to get canceled. Or do they quiet cancel it and just like slowly like remove it off their upcoming? Because the thing that
they're quiet quitting.
the thing that makes me confused is that it's still been on their financial, like every quarter when they do the financial report and say these are our upcoming games to investors. Prime 4 has been there with a TBA release date for going on 9 years now. No, that's cap. But like going on like 6-7 years, however long.
Yeah.
When was? I don't know when.
2017
June.
7 years ago.
Yeah, 6.5 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Anyway.
All right. Let's move on to our final question. The name.
Ooh.
Maybe the biggest one on this
You
list.
probably have some cute, like, Super Nintendo Switch or, like, Switch Plus here. I hope it's Switch 2 or bust. I like the other names, but I think just Switch 2 is better for the... Oh. Okay.
You're not wrong.
So audio listeners, the two options here are Switch 2 or, quote, literally anything else. I made my opinion pretty clear. I think it would be cute if it was like Super Nintendo Switch or, you know, new Nintendo Switch, but then we just run into the Wii U problem all over again. So, Switch 2 or bust, baby.
I'd love to see Super Nintendo Switch or... that's about the only thing I'd rather over the Switch 2. I think Switch 2 is just clean. They've never had a 2 console ever. Like, in the history of Nintendo. Which is just crazy to think about.
Before you're commenting, 2DS does not count. Smart person in the comments, the 2DS does not even come close to counting. Yeah, I already knew we were going to get a comment. 2DS does not count. Yeah. No, I completely agree.
I think it should be the Switch 2.
Completely agree.
That's what it should be. Yeah.
All right.
Well, we've made our Switch. That way, we've gotten to the end of our Choose Your Own Adventure.
Wow.
You can visualize that Switch in your brain, and
I can't believe it.
Our final product.
Yeah, great job making that, Mac. Yeah. I think that was fun. That was a fun way of figuring out what we want the new Nintendo Switch to be. Yeah, I hope most of those come true. So, next thing you had listed on the old thing. Here, let me switch back. Boom. Okay, well, this is Splatoon footage, so let me rewind a little bit. Why do we have
Splatoon footage?
This was supposed to be.
We're talking about Splatoon 3?
No, we're not. We're talking about a new Nintendo Direct. Or just any type of announcement. Mac, I posed the question to you. We are in a very weird spot with Nintendo right now, and I think everyone knows that. When could we possibly get a new Nintendo announcement? It could be a Direct, it could be Switch 2, it could be anything. Not like an Indie World. No offense, Indie World fans, but
unfortunately, rest in peace, Tommy Bear knows there wasn't a Switch announced today. So,
dude, that guy was so fake from the get-go. I cannot believe that anyone believed, like, that had all the hallmarks of 14-year-old chilling on Twitter, going.
There was nothing. There was no substance there at all.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, banking on some account, some random Twitter account that was just trying to tweet out leaks for attention, and it was so funny because you could just tell it was a Yoshi profile picture, you could just tell from the way everything was typed, okay, this kid's 14. There are no sources feeding this guy information, but somehow gained 200 followers.
Somehow he gained quite big traction. There was a lot of talk about him on Nintendo Twitter, but he deleted his account earlier today. So
rest in peace,
Tommy Bear.
What a brick!
I don't think we're getting a Direct this week. I don't think we're getting a Direct next week. I don't think we're getting a Direct in the month of February.
Whoa. Okay, so this is an interesting one then. This could be our main point of contention because I'm a direct believer for February.
Okay.
I don't know if this is misplaced optimism, but I think that this man right here, the president of Nintendo, will be gracing my screen in all his glory. Let me go back and pause it on this man. Wait, hold on. You don't think that this man right here, Mac, is going to be making an appearance on your screen with a Switch 2 in hand and Prime 4 footage and just the most beautiful shit-eating grin of all time because he knows he's about to announce some bangers. Just kidding. I don't think we're getting a new Switch in a Direct, but I do think we'll get a Direct that just kind of shows off some stuff. I think we're going to see a little bit more of that Mario Thousand Year Door remake. I think we'll probably get a couple shovelware-esque titles announced. And a lot of third-party stuff. I don't think it's going to be much, but it's not going to be a great Direct.
I think it's entirely possible we get a Direct Mini. I think it's entirely possible.
Direct Mini.
I think a Direct Mini
haven't had one of those in a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while.
If they hit us with a partner showcase was the worst idea Nintendo ever had. It's a Direct with terrible. All the boring stuff. Because the partners are not why you watch a Direct, especially when the partners are like www, like www.
Oh, don't forget DC Dream Girls or whatever.
Yeah, I meant to say WWE, but I said www. It's a late night here on the Nintendo Tonight podcast.
Wait, before we continue, is this one of like the only Nintendo Tonights recorded at night? Actually,
I mean, yeah, it's like 11 p.m. Eastern as we're recording this, so yeah,
it's a late night Nintendo Tonight.
It is a late night.
Oh, anyways, yeah, I think here's my theory.
Okay.
Here's my theory. I don't think we're getting a Direct this month, and I think the reason is because they don't have any games to announce.
You think
what they do have? They've got nothing. I think they've got their 4 games, the ports of or the remake of Thousand Year Door, Princess Peach Showtime, whatever, and then they're gonna announce the Switch 2. In early April.
Okay. So, do you think we get Direct Mini?
I think a Direct Mini is entirely possible. I think it's possible.
Or we get nothing. We get nothing until they announce Switch 2?
I don't think we're getting any Nintendo game news until we hear of a Switch 2.
Wow.
Or new, yeah.
Peculiar. I don't know if that's the case.
You don't agree?
No, because I'm still of the mindset that Switch 2 comes out and we're still getting Switch games. I don't think they're big games, but I think we're still getting Switch games when Switch 2 comes out, just in this kind of same way that they did 3DS games before the Wii or before the Switch dropped. So I think we'll still get some stuff. I don't think it's going to be anything big. I think the biggest possible thing we could get is a new Mario Party.
Because it does seem like a perfect game to like release on a console that's like becoming outdated.
Yeah. Because I think that's what they did with Mario Party to the Top 100. I think they had that. Yeah. I think that came out after the Switch was already out.
Like 2018, I think.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Late 17 or early 18, I think.
Yeah.
Or late 18, maybe. I don't remember, but. Yeah, they were putting games out on that thing, man. They had Luigi's Mansion 1 remake. They had WarioWare Gold, Mario Party Top 100, I think. All of those games are like pretty big, sizable projects. Like, again, it's not like we'd be getting like a brand new Pokemon game on Switch 2 or on Switch when Switch 2 is coming out, or like a new Zelda, 3D Mario, Metroid Prime 4, anything like that. But I could see some smaller little, some of the like games that we'd consider to be filler kind of pop up, show their head. And I think that a Direct would be the best way to show this off. Again, it's just weird because we don't know jack about what Nintendo's going to do for this year in terms of Switch 2 announcements. I'm still of the mindset that it's coming out like earlier than people think. But that could be copium. It could come out in December. It could come out not at all this year. So we don't really know. And because of that, it's kind of impossible to predict the Switch lineup when we don't even know if Switch 2 is a thing. Once we know that, it'll be so much easier.
It's just such a weird time. Like it feels like it's Switch 2 or bust right now.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if there's no Switch 2 this year, what is this year? What are we getting? What are we doing?
We're getting Princess Peach Showtime.
What are we going to talk about?
And 3 Mario remakes.
Okay, perfect. What else are we getting?
That's my logic for a direct, man. I feel like they're not gonna
Okay.
like that's the only reason I can see a direct is because we have.
I think I've just got Switch 2 blinders on right
They
now.
could be
Just, like,
possible, yeah.
Anything else doesn't matter. Like,
I understand.
I don't know.
I just think I'm looking at this Paper Mario Thousand Year Door footage. This looks great. This looks
It does,
super
yeah.
good. I'm excited for this. This was the biggest announcement. It was the closing announcement at their last direct. I'm sorry to all the Paper Mario Thousand Year Door fans. This is not nearly as big of a game as people think it is, at least in terms of like the way Nintendo's positioning it. Like, this doesn't sell that many consoles, if any. This game doesn't sell, it sells well, hopefully more than Origami King, but it's not like this is a big game that Nintendo can count on as like one of their highest selling games of the year, unless we're about to have a terrible year for Nintendo. Like, this is a great game, but it's not like right now this is the most exciting. This is like by far the biggest game we have coming up for Nintendo. I don't think we should ever be in a case for more than half a year where the most exciting game we have coming out is a remake of like a 20-year-old RPG. Like, it's one of the most beloved RPGs of all time. It's a Mario RPG, so it'll sell really well. But like, very, very rarely would this be the game to look forward to for Nintendo. Like, normally we'd have at least like a Breath of the Wild or like a Tears of the Kingdom or like a something bigger, like in scope than a remake.
I think what's weird about this year is it feels very similar to the Wii U's 2016, where it was just so bare bones games that were just like weren't system sellers or anything like that. They're just trying to fill out the year with stuff. But always in the back of our mind with that, we had Breath of the Wild.
We had the light at the end of the tunnel in Breath of the Wild. Because that game looked amazing. That's what I'm saying. We have nothing. I feel like we're going to get something. And I don't know whether that's kind of I don't know whether the direct is a bunch more slop to like give us like just more small things to hold on to before Switch 2, or if it's like maybe something big, like maybe they show off Prime 4 at the end of this next direct and it says like coming to the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, and that's like the confirmation that we're getting a next Switch, or like coming to the Nintendo Switch. Maybe it says that, and then like afterwards, Nintendo hints in an interview that it could be playable on their next console. Or like rumors come out, kind of like how Breath of the Wild, like they announced it was coming to Wii U, and then like when they had that big E3 showcase, they said Wii U, but then like they confirmed in an interview, I think a little bit later, that like this is also coming out on codename NX or whatever. I don't know. Like, besides that, I just feel like we have, maybe it's copium, but like, I feel like from business perspective, this could be one of the worst years for Nintendo, and you do not want to have one of the worst years right before, or like, not even, won't even be that terrible of a year, but you don't want to have like, you don't want to have a 6-month stretch like we're about to have before launching a new console.
They need to keep the momentum up. I think that's definitely a problem we could witness this year if there isn't a direct in the next month and a half. With some banger games, but I don't know. It's just such a weird time to be a Nintendo fan. I don't know. We don't have anything to look forward to. It's just
it's very
kind
weird.
of waiting for something to happen.
It is very weird. It feels like we're in purgatory.
When do you think then we're getting a direct? Because I gave my scenario. When do you think?
I think, honestly, I forgot Direct Mini was even a thing they did. Like, obviously I remember, but like it just wasn't on my mind at all because we haven't gotten one in a while, especially because we were having partner showcases. I could very well see a Direct Mini being the because like the hallmark of a Direct Mini is not necessarily that there's less announcements, or less like big Nintendo announcements. Like, we've had Direct Minis that announce like a bunch of different games. In 2018, I think we had a Direct Mini that announced like Tropical Freeze, Captain Toad port, Hyrule Warriors port, and like Dark Souls.
And that's
on
not
Switch or something
that's
like
actually a really strong Direct Mini. Like, that's not anything to slouch at.
I think the thing with Direct Minis is just that they won't like announce a big game. So I think if we get a Direct Mini, then that will be a bunch of like more small games, and that's when it's like, oh, okay, we're getting a Switch 2 announcement within the next couple of months. Or,
I'd be sufficed with
or
that.
we get a Direct this month, and it has like a Metroid Prime 4, like a big game tease, just something to give us like something so they can somewhat try and carry momentum. And then we don't get a Switch 2 announcement for a bit, but I think we'll get something in in February or like first week of March. But I'm still convinced February.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Glad to nail that down.
Yeah.
Next, let's take a gander. So, I want to brag for a minute. If you are listening to the Nintendo Tonight podcast, you are ahead of the curve when it comes to video games because not even last week, 2 weeks ago, way before any of these rumors started to break, I brought up that Xbox Game Pass might be coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. I didn't really give any evidence to this. It was kind of just a gut feeling, but I just felt like it made more sense. Like Xbox has been very big on, cross-play and cross-gen and giving Nintendo a lot of their games. And there were rumors that like games like Hi-Fi Rush and maybe Sea of Thieves would come over to Nintendo and PlayStation. So I just kind of went out on a limb and said, hey, I don't think it's that unlikely for some sort of like Xbox Game Cloud or Xbox Game Pass, or at least just a bunch of Xbox exclusives to be ported over to Switch 2, because now it won't be like a huge undertaking to port these games, because hopefully Switch 2 has like relatively comparative power to Xbox One or Xbox Series. Then the entire internet got lit on fire when a bunch of outlets started all reporting that Microsoft was not happy at all with how the Xbox Series systems have been selling. Apparently they missed a bunch of deadlines, a bunch of stuff went on. Makes complete sense because not a lot of people have those. I was actually planning on picking one up, not even joking, this next weekend because my friend has one and Game Pass is just like such a good deal and I want to play a bunch of games. But now I'm holding off because these rumors were somewhat validated when Phil Spencer, head of Xbox, tweeted out on Twitter or X, "We're listening and we hear you. We've been planning a business update event for next week where we look forward to sharing more details with you about our vision for the future of Xbox. Stay tuned." And a lot of these comments and like responses are people not happy about this. Bringing Xbox to multi-platform will devalue the platform. Please don't. Phil, we love you, but great games do sell consoles. I've owned an Xbox in day one. Might as well just get a PS5. Yeah, a lot of people upset. They're like, even this guy who I don't really know who this is, Pio, but I do know he's a huge PlayStation fan. He always pops up on my feed, like kind of being a huge Sony fan. And even hey man, I gotta respect the guy for this because he goes right here, when y'all compete, we win. We being the consumer. Would be kind of funny if he meant we as in Sony here and was just like console warring, like, hey, when you compete, we win. Like, don't leave and stop competing because we beat you every time, but it's nice to at least have someone to say we could win. But yeah, no, he definitely means when y'all compete, we win as a consumer. And I 100% agree. I think that having Xbox games on the Switch having Xbox games that are like exclusive to Xbox is a good thing for gaming as a whole. Like, I feel like you don't want to, because we all know that Nintendo doesn't really, no matter how people might feel, Nintendo, from a business perspective, is not really directly competing with Sony or Microsoft. So this would arguably give Sony a monopoly over the main like console type. Because Nintendo kind of has a different strategy, at least when it comes to marketing and how they position themselves in the industry. So it's really, really weird to think about a future where Sony just kind of is gaming for the majority of people. And yeah, I this is not at all what I meant when I said I wanted Xbox games to come to Switch, but we'll definitely touch up on this next week.
Are we about to see the death of one of the big three in the consoles?
Yeah.
I honestly I'm coming into this blind. I didn't read the tweet or any of the rumors. I didn't even know about them.
Yeah.
I'm honestly shocked.
Yeah,
like
Xbox
at least in the States,
too.
is a big name. People probably have more PlayStations, but like Xbox is it's
yeah. Here, let me switch to just show you, because this is like arguably breaking news. Like, this is coming out like within the last 24 hours. So yeah, Xbox going third party, stepping away from hardware, says Insider. And then we just scroll down a little bit, and it's very this strategy is heavily leaked by multiple sources at this point. We should still take everything until we have official confirmation from Microsoft. And all of this, all these rumors and stuff, were before Phil Spencer confirmed that. Like basically Twitter was ablaze saying that Xbox is going multi-platform. People were absolutely like just losing their mind, and then he tweets this out, which makes me think that like obviously they have some sort of business update. They have been planning this event for next week for a minute now. it just makes me think that this is real.
It's the Nintendo Xbox. They're coming together.
So I respect that idea, but I don't respect it. This is not happening. It would be cool. It would be cool.
It's an X, like cross. The cross, like you know, you made that concept.
I did.
It's
X, Nintendo cross.
No,
it's not happening, but it would be cool. I would like to see some way where Xbox kind of like continues to exist.
Isn't Game Pass like successful though for Xbox?
Yeah, so that's the thing. I think that's what they're saying is that people are assuming that Xbox Game Pass is pretty much the only thing that's being successful for Xbox. So rather than continue to make
like the Netflix of games, that's what
they're just going to go all in on Game Pass. They're going to support it with Game Pass on PC. They're going to support it with Game Pass on PlayStation, supposedly. Maybe even Game Pass on Switch, and then release like a little, almost like there's a fly floating around. I'm like, dude, get out of here. There's like a fly landing on my nose as I'm trying to talk about Xbox. Come on, fly. What the hell? No, but they're supposedly gonna be putting Game Pass on. Obviously, it's already on PC. They're gonna be putting Game Pass, I would assume, on PlayStation and Nintendo Switch, and then selling not even really like a console, but a cloud streaming device that you can plug into your TV for like maybe $50 that allows you to, play Game Pass, like a purely digital or purely streaming thing, and kind of just get out of the weird. Bow out of the hardware development game entirely. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
I do not know at all how to feel about this, but it's not good. I can tell you that. I'm not loving this. The
competition, like you said, is always good, but it's also cool that we might be getting Xbox games on the Switch. Like, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't think it's worth it if it means. Yeah. It's definitely not worth it if it means Xbox as a competitor is not making new consoles, because they won't they won't be putting it's just hard for me to imagine Xbox striving to make really, really good games when they're not for the concept of selling their console.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very weird. And it's odd timing too, because they just came out with they just officially acquired Activision, or like going through that merger, but it's no longer being blocked by the EU from what I understand. So if obviously sales are down, I'd assume that's why they're making this decision. But
yeah,
I would assume that the only reason they'd make this decision is if sales are so down that they don't even think having Call of Duty as an exclusive game, having every Blizzard, every Activision game, every Bethesda game, all as exclusives on top of all of the other studios and IP that Microsoft already owns, having all of that as exclusive still wouldn't move the needle and turn Xbox into what Microsoft, I'm assuming, is considering to be a success. So very, very odd situation.
They've got the resources to make their games exclusive, make Xbox it's so. I'm honestly shocked. I would have never expected this in a million years.
Yeah,
for Xbox to just bow out like this.
Yeah. We will learn more next week. Hopefully, whatever this event is, it takes place before Tuesday nights, because that's when we record.
Yeah.
But hey, maybe if it happens on a Wednesday or Thursday, we can record a little breaking news and try and get Jack to slot it into the episode, because man, this is the biggest news. This is the biggest thing in gaming. That
no doubt.
I can think of, arguably within my lifetime.
There hasn't been a console company bow out since Sega. This is
the only
massive.
other thing we could think of that would be on this level is Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard, or stuff like that, Microsoft buying X, but X
hardware wise, this is unheard of.
Yeah, no. I don't even know what to feel. I haven't thought about it too much, because we're going, Phil Spencer, to his credit, very quickly after this news broke and everyone started going crazy, did come out with this tweet that said, we're going to, you're not going to be just guessing. We've been preparing a business update. We look forward to sharing more details with you about our vision for the future of Xbox.
That's definitely an interesting way to word it. Our vision for the future of Xbox, not our future for the Xbox. You know?
Yeah. Because our vision for the future of Xbox, that like he doesn't specify he doesn't specify the Xbox. He's not talking about a console here. He's talking about a brand.
Yeah.
I really think that like imagine you're about to have a big conference that shares the future of Xbox, and suddenly, somehow, like just purely hypothetically, somehow it leaks out that you're not making consoles anymore. And say you are making consoles more. When you put out this tweet to announce the next thing, do you not just say like, do you not mention that like the reports and rumors are false? Like,
no, this kind of confirms it. If we're being honest, like
this
not outright saying,
we don't know guaranteed, but we at least know there's a decent amount of truth to these rumors that they're going multi-platform. Now again, we don't know if that means that hopefully, like, best case scenario is that they just start bringing a lot more games over to other consoles. It's not like every game. Like, hopefully they still have some exclusives. I know it's weird to say that because I don't have an Xbox, but hopefully they do, because I would like for Xbox to still be competitive. And I don't think there is a path forward for them if they bring Xbox to if they bring Game Pass to everything else and don't hold any exclusives. I don't think there's a future for them. With that being said, that's still what I'd rather them do. I'd still rather them at least say like, hey, we're going to still make consoles, but we're bringing Game Pass to everything else. I'd rather them at least do that rather than just completely shut it all down now. But hey, man, they could very easily do that. Like,
this is massive.
Yeah. I'm just going to be honest.
This changes everything.
I feel bad for my friend who bought an Xbox a few months ago. I was about to buy a new Xbox. If Phil Spencer gets on stage and says, hey, we're putting Game Pass and all of our games on PlayStation 5, I'm pre-ordering one within the next like 30 seconds, and I'll probably won't even be able to get one because they'll all be sold out because everyone will be doing the exact same thing. Like,
yeah.
If you could get, like, think about that. If you could get a PS5 that guaranteed has every Xbox game too, that's the ultimate console. Like,
yeah, it'll have everything.
Yeah, I'm not like vehemently against Sony. I have a PS4 and I love a bunch of PlayStation games, but they do kind of bug me because they don't make their game. They're making their games exclusive on they're making their games available on PC, but only 2 years afterwards, which is just annoying because I want to play God of War Ragnarok and Spider-Man 2, but I have to wait like 2 years for each one. So I'm not like I was rooting for Xbox to do well this console generation because it kind of like dethroned Sony as it, but
it just seems like they're getting stronger, and I don't know what to make of this. It's
very weird.
Very weird.
Very weird. I don't think we really have anything else to add. I just want to say that if you're listening to this right now, pour one out for Xbox, man, because it looks like they could be going the way of Sega here. And obviously, make sure to stay tuned to the Nintendo Tonight podcast because we'll be bringing you everything you need to know about this insane news story when it happens next episode. Hopefully it happens before next episode. If not, then we might delay the episode by a day because this is huge. This is the biggest news in gaming.
It may not be Nintendo, but it's extremely important to gaming in general,
and it impacts Nintendo like in ways we can't even understand. Like, imagine a world where your choices are Nintendo or Sony rather than Xbox and PlayStation, and then also like kind of the Switch, but not really. Like the thing is, PlayStation and Xbox, they hold their own like place in the gaming sphere, and then you've got Nintendo. Yeah, but it's just going to be PlayStation and Nintendo, and there's going to be, you either pick one or the other. Yeah, but I think because of that, this then makes Nintendo and Sony a lot more direct rivals. Because before it was kind of like you would either choose, okay, I want like a real console. That's not the best term to use, but I'll say like you want a normal console or a Nintendo console. And so Nintendo was like the other option versus Microsoft and Sony. So like they didn't really have to compete because they could capture all of the other option. But now that Sony is eating up all the market share of Xbox and Sony's value proposition just gets so much better, a lot of people who might have gotten a Nintendo console now see that you can basically get two for the price of one with the PS5, I think in order for Nintendo to compete, even though again they don't view themselves as competitors, they're in the same space. Nintendo, like, it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be very interesting. Yeah. Obviously Nintendo will never like die because they have their hardcore fans, but this could be the end of like Nintendo consoles being like super big like the Switch. Like, honestly, I truly believe that. Like, yeah, it's going to be very weird. And I think Nintendo might even lean more into the blue ocean strategy to try and just capture, like, they might just say, okay, we cannot compete with Sony and the more like hardcore gamer because they now have every game under the sun. Let's now shift focus and try and, you know, reinforce what makes Nintendo great within our fans and like the people who are potentially in a market for our console, and then capture even more people who aren't necessarily into gaming in the first place. That's my thought process, but man, it's going to be interesting. So stay tuned for the future, guys. Like, this is really, really big. But with that out of the way, that's another episode in the can.
One in the bag.
Yeah, one in the bag without PJ. First ever episode without PJ. Sorry if you were a PJ fan, but he's passed away. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Review? Yeah. Toss up.
Let's see if we got to 4.9. Let's see if we got there.
4.9 stars.
I was talking a big game last week about you guys getting us there. Let's see if
and our editor Jack, while Mac's searching for that, I just wanted to say, Jack had a good idea that we could also read some comments. So if you made it this far in the YouTube video, leave a comment letting us know specifically include the word X gone. So like Xbox gone, and let us know.
That'll be our secret code.
That'll be our secret code. So we'll read your comment and let us know your thoughts on this merger. I'm just very curious. But anyway, Mac, read that comment.
All right. This is from somebody that didn't put their name, so it's just,
blank
anonymous.
Okay.
But title is Great Show. It's such a good podcast. I listen to it most nights when I'm going to sleep. I think that's a compliment.
I could yell. The intrusive thoughts wanted me to scream into my microphone right there, but I will not do that.
We should end the episode like that.
I also listen to podcasts when I go to sleep sometimes, so I would not do that. But thank you. I hope you have a good night's sleep and a great day tomorrow. Yeah. You're awesome. You'll do amazing. And so thank you guys so much for watching, listening, sleeping, whatever you're doing right now. We truly do appreciate it. And we'll catch you guys in the next one.